All right, so I had a lot of issues with Adobe pretty much from the time I started using it. And by the way, bro, I've been creating content for like a good 12 years, all right? So I only started using Adobe like a few years after, but I've been using Adobe for close to a decade, all right? And it's like it was always the same issue. And you know, people would tell you that, oh, maybe it's your hardware, but you gotta imagine I used Adobe's programs on 3 computers. One of them was obviously it was very trash, right? I'm just gonna admit it, all right? It was like a 1050 computer, AMD FX 6300. It was very bad, but then I did upgrade to, which was at the time a decent 1080p setup. It had a 1660 Ti, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a i3 10th generation. It was on a budget, all right? So but even then it did run a little bit smoother, but it still wasn't like, wow, this is really good. And like the issues were always that the app was starting, like every single app that I was using, it could either be After Effects, Photoshop, or Premiere. The apps would just start super slow, and it was so annoying to just sit there and wait like a minute or two. And then to make a project too, Jesus Christ, you know how long this shit takes, dude? Bro, no. Like you would make a project in Premiere and it would just like do nothing for like 30 seconds before you can even see the timeline or whatever. So that was an issue. And also, you know, other things like the playback just being choppy and slow, even if I put it on like the lowest quality, which made it unwatchable, but still. And then, you know, trying stuff like what everybody would say, oh, reset your preferences or clear your media cache, or, you know, whatever. I did that, bro, I'm telling you, it did like a difference pretty much once. All right, I had to think for a minute, but like only one time I noticed a difference, and then it was just like back to square one, like back to just laggy and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just thought like it was time for me to maybe see if there's like something like like alternatives to do, right? Because before like Adobe, I was using, what was it? I think it was like Sony Vegas Pro, all right, or whatever it's called. It's not bad, but I had similar issues there. So a few weeks ago, I decided to look at some alternatives, right? Because for this latest video that I published, I wanted to challenge myself before I even edited it. I wanted to challenge myself and be like, all right, let's use a different editing software and just see how it goes, right? Can I replicate the same like types of edits that I do in my videos, or, you know, is it going to be different? So obviously I was looking and I found a couple of alternatives that I'll go through. First of all was DaVinci Resolve, obviously, which is like, it's currently probably one of the most popular free video editors, which I'm not gonna lie, it does look very promising, I will say that, but it just like, I don't know, the whole nodes thing to create like some effects, I just didn't like that. Because the things, I mean, look, I use Blender, right? So I know all about nodes, but I don't want to have to learn a separate node system. But then I was like, oh wait, I use Blender, right? Let me just see, maybe Blender has something to do with maybe video editing. And I found out they do. They have a video editor, right? And I watched this guy that's his name is called FilmStop. Like, he's a Blender YouTuber, and he made a video talking about his experiences with, like, you know, editing in Blender. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So I decided to then, you know, be like, all right, let's just, because Blender's video editor isn't as advanced yet. They're working on it. I did see the latest alpha versions. It's looking pretty good, but right now the latest public versions, it's not like that stable, right? Or like not that capable. But I was like, all right, you know what? Blender has a 3D workspace anyways, where I can like theoretically make some really cool scenes. I can use the compositor to make some really cool effects, and then, you know, just make some scenes, right, and render it out as an MP4 and just put it into the video sequencer. All right, but what about like complex animations, right? So that I would usually do as an After Effects, right? So what will be the alternative, right? And then again, I looked at DaVinci once more, and still their node system just wasn't as appealing to me as Blender's. I don't know why, even though it's the same thing. And then this might be like a bit of a weird choice, but I ended up going with CapCut, all right? And I don't know, it sounds weird because I don't know, like it's from TikTok, whatever, like the company that owns TikTok, and like most of the stuff is paywalled. But still, I was like, you know what, let me just try it out. So I used CapCut for, like, you know, some stuff, like, you know, let's say there was like a Reddit post and I wanted to have like the text type in. I use CapCut for that, right? Because the thing is, you can change the font to whatever font you want, because usually it has that TikTok captions font, which I didn't like. So I did that. It works really good. So what I would do then is I would be like, all right, I'm gonna make, if it's something that is just like a camera zooming into like a image or something, I can use Blender. That's simple. But if I want to do something like, I don't know, like a text animation or something that's more immersive, then I'll go to CapCut, I'll make the animation, I'll export it as an MP4, and I'll just put it in Blender in the 3D workspace just to use the camera, like for some movement, and then the color correction that I did in the compositor. And that worked perfectly. I'm just gonna say right now, that worked really nicely. But yeah, so, and also with Blender, the playback and like pretty much just navigating the timeline was pretty smooth. They have a thing that's like, it's called prefetch frames, where like it would pre-render a chunk of what you're about to play so that you can, you know, you can watch without it stuttering. And you can also enable proxies. One thing with proxies too, I know you can make proxies in Premiere, but with Premiere it's like you have to make proxies for each individual clip, which is kind of annoying. For Blender, I had to just do like a simple process. I forgot what it was exactly, but it's like as simple as just clicking a button that says build proxies, and then it builds the proxies for you, so that, you know, for every clip, and you can just set the resolution, which was pretty much like the preview quality in Premiere, and that was pretty nice to use. And yeah, so then the last thing was, all right, how am I gonna make this thumbnail? Because I didn't just want to not use Adobe stuff, not just for, you know, editing and whatever. I also wanted to use something different for the thumbnail. So then I looked, and I initially also found Affinity and stuff like that, which now I heard that it's free because Canva acquired Affinity, but I then found out that there is a Photoshop, like pretty much a copycat, which it's called Photo P, and it's like an exact replica of Photoshop, which is perfect because that means I don't have to relearn anything, right? And I used it for the thumbnail, and oh my god, it was smooth, it wasn't laggy, nothing. And yeah, it was just so easy to create my thumbnail. And some features are paywalled, not really paywalled, but like you have to watch an ad if you want to use the feature, which was understandable. So I just got the pro plan for like $50 a year, which is really good compared to Adobe. And I've been using it ever since. I might just actually completely use this, like, instead of using Photoshop. But yeah, besides that, for audio and stuff, like for the voiceover, I usually just use Ableton, which is a paid program. But if you want to do this, like this, make it for completely free, then I think you should look into Audacity, or actually, I don't know, use Audacity for the voiceover. And if you want to do, like, you know, the sound design, like, you know, the mouse clicks or whatever with like some reverb, I would say maybe make the sound effects in FL and then just export it as an MP3, and then you have it, right? So you can just do it in Blender or whatever you use then. But all in all, I would say you can make professional videos for free. You don't have to, I mean, yeah, maybe CapCut is payable, so maybe you can use, like, I don't know, DaVinci if you're willing to learn it, but you can make professional videos for free. It is totally possible. And that was the main challenge for my latest video, the Jakob Jarl video, to make something that is exactly the same quality as my stuff that I make in Premiere, but maybe make it better, which I would say it did look better in what is it called, I would say it did look better in Blender, because there was this thing in the compositor where I can make like this depth of field look on the animations, and I thought that looked really cool, and like the glow too, and the color correction, it was just all really cool, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, guys, don't pay into Adobe's stupid ecosystem. I was using my college account for as long as I could, the one that you get for free, or for us it was like $10 a year, but obviously I'm not in school anymore, so I had to, you know what I'm saying, I had to find an alternative. It was just hard. But yeah, no, it is possible to create professional videos for free. don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, Adobe is the best for professional. I mean, maybe for very specific stuff, but for most of the stuff, you can probably get away with using something else. So yeah, I would say fuck Adobe's payment system. Adobe, also, like, they just don't listen to their customers. Like, they have the fucking Adobe form, and they just don't listen. Like, they have like other people help others out for issues. I don't know how to explain it. And also, like, if there's nothing on the Adobe forums, then you have to go to like some weird sketchy channel at 3 a.m. trying to find a fix for your issue, and they just tell you the same shit with like reset your media cache or whatever, or like clear it. It's so stupid. But yeah, that was pretty much like that was pretty much it for this video that I wanted to make. It was just more like a challenge, and honestly I liked it. I might even, you know, keep using Blender and CapCut and stuff like that. But yeah, it was fun, and I would definitely recommend any of you creators out there that if you're ever feeling sick of your editing software, that because it's not working, whatever, then maybe try out something else. You know, get out of your comfort zone for a little bit. It's definitely worth it. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll be heading out now, guys. See you.